Joining me in our Washington studio is Jonathan Broder. He's a senior writer for Newsweek. He's also been covering national and international security issues for more than 2 decades. Jonathan, welcome to our program.
Thank you.
What is the main objective here for the DPRK besides showing it's not isolated in the world?
Well, that's a big thing, though. I mean, Kim has had a bit of bad luck over the past 2 months. The summit that he had with President Trump in Hanoi ended up in failure. There was a lot of expectation that it was going to be a success, but he didn't go quite far enough as far as Trump was concerned. So he needs a win at this point. One of the objectives, I think, is simply just to get a simple statement of support from Trump would make him happy.
You mean from Putin?
Yes, from Putin. Sorry. There are other things, though, that in terms of bilateral relations that they're looking for. There's some 10,000 or so Koreans that are working in the eastern part of Russia, mostly in the logging industry. And under the UN sanctions, they will have to be kicked out of Russia by the end of this year. So I'm sure he and Putin will be discussing ways that they can possibly stay. How
much leverage does Moscow have over Pyongyang? I thought it was surprising that these two leaders, when I was doing my research, had actually never met. Vladimir Putin met Kim Jong-un's father, but these guys had never met before. So does Putin have leverage over Kim?
No, he really doesn't. I mean, in the bilateral issues that we discussed, Putin, one of the other problems that North Korea is facing is that they might face a food shortage come this summer. And Russia has, in the past, given North Korea food aid. So there is a bit of leverage there. But compared to the leverage, let's say, that China exerts over North Korea, there's really no comparison. And I would say that one of the reasons why Russia is attractive to North Korea as a country to reach out to is specifically because it does not have leverage, and therefore they can operate more on an even plane.
So, Jonathan, in terms of talks on denuclearization, what are the likely outcomes here?
I just think that what we're probably likely to see is a melding of minds between Kim and Putin, basically because they agree on the approach that is needed for North Korea to denuclearize, which is a gradual approach. And as you know,
lifting of the sanctions.
Yes, sort of, a lifting of the sanctions in return for steps that are taken by North Korea, sort of a step-by-step process, not all at once, which is what the hardliners in the Trump administration are demanding.
And how do you think this is playing out in the Trump administration? I bet they're going to be watching this summit very closely.
I think they are watching it very closely, and as you know, there are at least preliminary discussions about a third summit between Trump and Kim. So they'll probably want to see the kind of role that Russia chooses to play as they go into that next summit.
All right. Thank you so much, Jonathan Broder.